Hello everyone, good morning all of you. I hope you are fine. So today we will do the revision of the Unit 2 kinematics. I hope you have done the given assignment of Unit 1 for a revision. Okay, then today we will revise Unit 2 kinematics. Then I will give to you assignment of Unit 2. Okay. So beta, do your work properly regularly because there is a regular holidays are going on. We don't know about this one how much day will be take for these holidays. So at your home do homework regularly. Okay, then after holidays then your exam also will be start. That's why so solve your properly question assignments which are providing to you on your class group, so solve regularly. So those student not solved assignment of chapter unit 1, then solve that assignment beta, that your concept will be clear of the unit 1. Today we will revise unit 2, then solve assignment of the unit 2. So unit 2 beta kinematics we are starting of unit 2 kinematics, that is a study of the motion. Here this is the basic concept of the motion. First one, kinematics. Okay, kinematics, here we will do study of the motion, study of motion of any object. When any object is moving one to another position, जब कोई भी object एक position से दूसरी position पे जाएगा, then how much quantity will be act on that object, then different quantity we will do on this one. Clear? So here study of the motion. For example, this object is here, that is moving from here to there, then different quantity will be act there, then what is the distance traveled by it, then how much speed will be acquired by it from one to another position, displacement will be there, like this one. Okay, all quantity will be acted. So state of the object can be divided into two type, can be rest, can be and motion. Rest means there is no change in the position, we will call it rest. अगर पोजीशन में चेंज हो रहा है then we will call it motion. अगर बॉडी मूव करेगी then different quantity will be there, then we will do different quantity. All quantity beta we are dividing into two parts, scalar quantity and your vector quantity. वेक्टर क्वांटिटी, जो भी क्वांटिटी हम रीड कर रहे हैं, देन ऑल आर डिवाइडिंग इनटू डिफरेंट टू पार्ट्स, स्केलर एंड वेक्टर क्वांटिटी. स्केलर और वेक्टर दो क्वांटिटी इन विच वी आर फाइंड देयर ओनली मैग्नीट्यूड. मैग्नीट्यूड मींस मैथमेटिकल वैल्यू. कि क्लियर कि अगर हम यहाँ से यहाँ कितना पाथ ट्रेवल कर रहे हैं, मोशन कर रहे हैं, मूव कर रहे हैं, पोजीशन चेंज हो रही है, तो कितना पाथ हमने कवर किया है, मैथमेटिकल वैल्यू की 10 किलोमीटर, 5 किलोमीटर, 5 सेंटीमीटर, 10 मीटर, like this one. Magnitude value we know about only, we don't know about the direction, किस डायरेक्शन में हमने ट्रेवल किया है, then that quantity is known as the scalar quantity. क्लियर? स्केलर क्वांटिटी उन क्वांटिटी को बोलते हैं जिनके अंदर क्या हम सिर्फ मैथमेटिकल वैल्यू को हम डिफाइन कर सकते हैं, डायरेक्शन को डिफाइन नहीं कर सकते. दैट्स व्हाई वी विल कॉल इट स्केलर क्वांटिटी. फॉर एग्जांपल योर डिस्प्लेसमेंट वी हैव डन ऑलरेडी बेटा. डिस्प्लेसमेंट सॉरी distance is the total path covered from any object. For example, this car is going on from here to there, then another way like this one also can be go, another way can be go like this one. So total path covered by this one from here to this one point, then it is known as a distance. Here कि एक पॉइंट से इनिशियल पॉइंट से फाइनल तक जाने के लिए कितना टोटल पाथ कवर किया जा रहा है, उस क्वांटिटी को हम क्या बोलेंगे, डिस्टेंस बोलेंगे. हियर वी डोंट नो व्हाट इज द एग्जैक्ट डायरेक्शन टेकन बाय दिस ऑब्जेक्ट, कि इस ऑब्जेक्ट ने इस व्हीकल में कितनी प्रॉपर डायरेक्शन ली, दैट वी डोंट नो, देन वी विल कॉल इट आवर scalar quantity. Okay, so distance will become in category of the scalar quantity. Next your vector quantity. Vector quantity beta those quantity in which we can find magnitude as well as the direction. Magnitude means mathematical value. Clear? कि we are traveling, we are covering the path 10 meter and in which direction we are covering this path. Clear? With magnitude, if we can find the direction also, then we will call it vector quantity. So displacement will be our vector quantity with respect to your distance, displacement. So here distance will be a total path covered from initial to final and displacement will be shortest path covered from one body to the another body, that is known as the displacement. देखो यहाँ पे तीन रास्ते हैं, इधर से इधर जा रही है बॉडी, इधर से इधर जा रही है, and direct also going on. Clear? So out of all three, then which one will be shortest path? This path we will call it displacement. तो इनमें से सबसे छोटा पाथ क्या होगा, ये वाला पाथ होगा, और इसको हम क्या कह सकते हैं, हम डिस्प्लेसमेंट कह सकते हैं. फ्रॉम हियर टू देयर, दिस वन शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ इज नोन एज द displacement only, and there we can find the direction also of the shortest path. That's why it will be coming category of the vector quantity. Clear? So I hope you understood बेटा स्केलर एंड वेक्टर. स्केलर जिसके अंदर हम डायरेक्शन डिफाइन नहीं कर सकते, ओनली डिफाइनिंग देयर मैग्नीट्यूड, then we will call it scalar quantity, and in which we can find magnitude as well as the direction, then we will call it vector quantity. So distance is our scalar quantity and displacement will be vector quantity. Clear? Next here all path we can say distance, but all path we can't say your displacement. So we can say displacement is your distance, but distance we can't say is equal to displacement, because all path can be distance, but all path we can't say displacement. Out of all path, which one will be shortest one, that we will call it displacement. So path we are talking about here, path, then path always unit we will write it meter. What is the unit of this one? मीटर. पाथ कितना पाथ कवर किया, तो पाथ कवर करने की जो ऐसा यूनिट होती है बेटा, that is your meter only. Standard international unit, that is meter only. Another unit also having, unit means किस क्वांटिटी में आप, किस क्रम में आप उसको मेजर कर रहे हो, उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? यूनिट बोलते हैं. ठीक. सो हमारी क्या है, किलोमीटर भी ऐसा यूनिट होती है, सेंटीमीटर भी होती है, सॉरी किलोमीटर भी यूनिट होती है डिस्टेंस डिस्प्लेसमेंट की, मीटर भी होती है, सेंटीमीटर भी होती है. ऑल आर द यूनिट ऑफ डिस्टेंस डिस्प्लेसमेंट, बट आउट ऑफ ऑल देन मीटर विल बी ओनली ऐसा यूनिट, स्टैंडर्ड इंटरनेशनल यूनिट. नाउ नेक्स्ट, दिस वन डिस्टेंस इज कवर्ड इन हाउ मच टाइम. ये डिस्टेंस कवर करने में, यहाँ से यहाँ तक जाने के लिए इसमें कितना टाइम लिया. कवर दिस पाथ इन विच टाइम, देन वी विल कॉल इट स्पीड. क्या बोलेंगे? स्पीड. क्या बोलेंगे? स्पीड. हाउ मच डिस्टेंस कवर्ड बाय दिस ऑब्जेक्ट फ्रॉम हियर टू देयर, देन वी विल कॉल इट speed. So distance, speed formula you can write it, speed equal to your distance by your time. Distance by time. How much path covered by this one per unit time is known as speed. Now displacement here, shortest path covered in which time? This one path is shortest, so this one path covered by this body in how much time? Then we will call it velocity. तो इनमें डिफरेंस क्या रहा बेटा? स्पीड इज आवर वेक्टर स्केलर क्वांटिटी एंड वेलोसिटी इज आवर वेक्टर क्वांटिटी. Clear? In velocity we can define the direction, but in speed we can't define the direction. So it will be displacement per unit time is known as the velocity. So next one your speed. Next one will be better your acceleration. Acceleration will be equal to your change in the velocity. We have done already. Acceleration is equal to change in our velocity. Change in velocity per unit time. Acceleration है when any object is here, after some time, after t time it's here, initially it is moving with u velocity. अगर ये जो ऑब्जेक्ट है इसी वेलोसिटी के साथ मूव करता रहता है, then we will call it there is no change in the velocity. Yes ना? But acceleration always will be equal to your change in velocity. What? Change in velocity per unit time. कि जो भी व्हीकल है आपकी, कोई बॉडी मूव कर रही है यहाँ से यहाँ तक, किसी टी टाइम में कितना वेलोसिटी में चेंज आएगा, दैट रेशियो ऑफ द चेंज इन वेलोसिटी टू द टाइम इज नोन एज द एक्सेलरेशन. अगर उसकी वेलोसिटी में कोई चेंज ही नहीं आ रहा, इनिशियली इट इज मूविंग यू ओनली, आफ्टर सम टाइम वी विल चेक देन इट्स वेलोसिटीज रिमेन सेम ओनली, यू ओनली, नो चेंज इन द वेलोसिटी, देन वी कैन राइट इट देयर एक्सेलरेशन विल बी इक्वल टू 0. So we can write acceleration equal to your 0 if there is no change in velocity, then we will call it acceleration. जब इसकी वेलोसिटी में कोई चेंज ही नहीं होगा तो क्या हो जाएगा? एक्सेलरेशन 0 हो जाएगी. कि इनिशियली क्या है, u के साथ मूव कर रहा था, फाइनली भी क्या है, u के साथ ही, मींस इनिशियली 2 मीटर पर सेकंड के साथ चल रहा था, कुछ टाइम के बाद इसकी वेलोसिटी चेक की था, देन आल्सो 2 मीटर पर सेकंड, then we will find their change in the velocity. So acceleration we can write there final minus initial divided by time. तो final velocity क्या थी हमारी? 2 मीटर पर सेकंड and initial also 2 meter per second. There is no change in the velocity, then acceleration will be equal to 0 only. Okay, but initially having some velocity, final also having some velocity. For example, here 2 meter per second and it is 12 meter per second. Now after t time some velocity change there, so this one we can write that 12 minus 2 divided by your t in how much time, then it will be your acceleration. Unit will be meter per second square because velocity by time. velocity is meter per second, divide by time second, then it will be your meter per second square. Okay, so this one is a depend upon the velocity, and velocity is our vector quantity, so acceleration also will be our vector quantity. Clear? So like this one we can write with the acceleration is change in velocity per unit time is known as the acceleration. I hope you understood better these basic terms. Then you have to learn these old terms. Now next one here, average velocity. Average velocity will be total displacement by total time is known as your average velocity. This one will be total displacement by total time, then we can call it average velocity, and average speed we can write there. Average speed will be equal to your total distance by total time. By total time, then we can write it average speed. Okay, so average velocity, total displacement by total time, total distance by total time is average speed, and this one your average velocity. Clear? For example, here anybody is moving from here to there. Okay, here starting from A point and this one final point is B. Any object is moving start from here A, S1 distance traveled by it with T1 time. Clear? And next here S2 is displacement traveled in T2 time, and S3 will be your T3 time. Clear? If this one is a dividing into equal ratio, if your S1, S2 and S3 all are divided into equal ratio, means अगर total यहाँ से यहाँ तक क्या है उसमें S distance traveled किया है, तो क्वेश्चन में कह रहा है कि if 1/3 of the total is traveled within T1 second, and next 1/3 traveled with T2, and next 1/3 traveled with your T3. Okay, so we are assuming this one 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 all are the equal portion. So we can write there S1 equal to your S2 equal to your S3 equal to your S by 3. अगर टोटल डिस्टेंस अगर हम S से अज्यूम करके चल रहे हैं तो टोटल का कितना है, तीनों में 3 डिवाइड हो रहा है. क्लियर? 3 टाइम्स मींस 1/3 डिवाइड हो रहा है इन ईच पार्ट. सो हियर हाउ वी कैन फाइंड देयर एवरेज वेलोसिटी. Find average velocity. Clear? So how we can find average velocity? Average velocity we know about this one here. Average velocity will be equal to your total displacement by your total time. Total displacement by total time. Okay, so here we can write there S1 total displacement, S2, S3 divide by total time T1, T2 and T3. Yes or no? So like this one we can write there total displacement. This one your S1, S2, S3 divided by your T1, T2 and T3, then it will be a total average velocity. Clear? So here this one here 1/3 is traveled within T1 time, then here this one if your next one statement is given like this one, next one statement is given if total displacement by any object S traveled 1/3 of S with V1 velocity, and next 1/3 traveled with V2 velocity, and next 1/3 traveled with v3 velocity. Okay, in last statement beta we have given their displacement, one third we are dividing and may be different if time is given there, so we can write in simplest form total displacement by total time. Now this time your time is not given, velocity is given. Okay, so here given your total displacement from here to there s displacement, तो बॉडी यहाँ से मूव करना स्टार्ट करती है, यहाँ तक जाती है. तो फर्स्ट इनिशियली टोटल का वन थर्ड मीन्स ईच पार्ट वी आर डिवाइडिंग इनटू इक्वल वन थर्ड, तो टोटल का वन थर्ड हियर वी कैन राइट दिस वन s by 3, next one third we can write there s by 3, next one third s by 3. to correct traveled one third s with v1 velocity, तो जो फर्स्ट वन है लेट वी आर टेकिंग s1 traveled with v1, next one third let we are taking s2, this one traveled with v2 velocity, and next one third traveled with your s3, then is your v3 velocity. क्लियर और नॉट? तो यहाँ से हम एवरेज वेलोसिटी कैसे निकालेंगे? नाउ दिस टाइम एवरेज वेलोसिटी अगेन वी आर अप्लाइंग देयर टोटल डिस्प्लेसमेंट बाय टोटल टाइम t1 plus t2 plus your t3. This one is a simple formula of the average velocity total displacement by total time, but this time is not given, velocity is given, so we will convert this one velocity in form of the time. How we can convert this one? First we should know about the relation between velocity and displacement. Velocity equal to displacement by time. Yes, we know about this one. I told now only velocity equal to displacement by time. So time we can write there displacement by velocity. Yes or no? So if time is not given, so how we can write beta s1, s2, s3 all are equal with each other, all are equal to s by 3. So we can write there s by 3 plus s by 3 plus here s by 3. Divide by your t1 plus t2 plus t3. t1 equal to s1 by v. So s1 given s by 3 and v1 plus your s by 3 v2 plus s by 3 v3. Keep value of t1, t2 and t3 from here. After putting then here left here we can take common s by 3 from here. Clear? So inside left here 1 plus 1 plus 1. Downside also s by 3 only. Now here left 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2 plus here 1 by v3. This to this cancel out. Now here we can write there 3 by, here we can write there take LCM v1 v2 v3, here v2 v3 plus v1 v3 plus here left 1 2. Clear? Upper side we will take it, then here will come average velocity. Here we can write it, this one 3 we can write upper side, then average velocity formula will come here 3 v1 v2 v3 divide by v1 here v1 v2 plus v2 v3 plus here v2 v3 v1. दिस वन फॉर्मूला केम ऑफ द एवरेज वेलोसिटी. ये कब होगा बेटा? जब अगर हम इक्वल डिस्टेंस को इक्वल में डिवाइड कर रहे हैं, इक्वल रेशियो में अगर डिवाइड कर रहे हैं, तो एवरेज वेलोसिटी का डायरेक्ट फॉर्मूला आप ये अप्लाई कर सकते हो. अगर ये नहीं लर्न कर रखा, देन बेटा यू हैव टू अप्लाई बेटा टोटल डिस्प्लेसमेंट बाय टोटल टाइम ओनली, देन यूज दिस फॉर्मूला, देन पुट देयर सोल्व दैट वन, देन दिस वन रिलेशन ओनली विल कम देयर. इफ योर वेलोसिटी इज गिवन, देन डायरेक्ट यू कैन यूज दिस वन ओनली. क्लियर? नाउ if there next one there, if your time is given, time is divided into equal portion, distance is not given, so how we can write this one? Here given this one total t time is taken during this one path, then half of the time traveled with v1 velocity and half of the travel distance with your v2 velocity. So how we can find there? This time given, displacement is not given. कि अगर हम यहाँ से वहां तक चल रहे हैं, then we are traveling for the 10 second. Out of 10 second, half time is taken with v1 velocity and half time taken with v2 velocity. Then find average velocity. The simplest your formula, you have to use this only total displacement by total time. But now this time displacement is not given, velocity and time given. So this time convert this displacement in form of the velocity and time, and then put here formula, then solve it here, then average. This one formula will come in this form, then another one formula is this one came, another one formula, then it will be here t1 plus t2 plus here, sorry, v1 plus u2 plus v3 divided by your 3 if your 3 velocities are given, and this one 4 dividing equal ratio of time. अगर हम टाइम को इक्वल रेशियो में डिवाइड कर रहे हैं, then average velocity we can write there v1 v2 v3 divided by 3. So there is a two formula we have done. One is a for equal ratio of the distance we are dividing, and this one time if we are dividing in equal ratio, then we can find average velocity by these terms. Clear? I hope you understood of this one average velocity. Now next your concept will be beta graph. Your graph. Okay. Instantaneous graphical method, instantaneous velocity, instantaneous acceleration. Okay, so instantaneous velocity. Instantaneous velocity means at any small instant. Clear? So instantaneous velocity will be del v is at any instant, del v is a symbol, then it will be small change in the displacement to the small change in the time, then we will call it this one here instantaneous velocity. Clear? So graphically how we can find there, if S and T graph is given, if your S and T graph is given, then here we want to draw any line, then here we are writing there points S1, S2, S3 like this one, here T1, T2, T3. Graph we have done already. With help of the graph, two term we can use by using area under the curve, and second we can use by using the slope of the curve. Okay, then slope of the curve, let here this one point is this one here, and another point is this one A point, and this one here B point. So from here to there, one point is this one, second point is this one T2. Clear? Then slope of this one term will be equal to change along your x-axis to the change along y to the x-axis. This one another form, this one instantaneous velocity, we can write like this one, change along your displacement to the small time, then we can call it instantaneous velocity. So by using graph, this one we can write it by using graph, we can find slope of ST graph. What is S? Displacement time graph. Okay, this one our displacement time graph. Displacement time graph. क्या ये डिस्प्लेसमेंट टाइम ग्राफ है? डिस्प्लेसमेंट टाइम ग्राफ के अंदर अगर हम स्लोप फाइंड करते हैं, देन स्लोप ऑलवेज विल बी बेटा चेंज अलोंग y एक्सिस टू द चेंज अलोंग योर x एक्सिस. सो y के अलोंग कितना चेंज हो रहा है हमारा? दिस वन अलोंग y एक्सिस s2 and this one here along x axis, then it will be this one here initial point s1, along x axis final point is t2 and initial point is equal to our t1. So this one is a ratio of this one, we can call it slope of your ST graph. And change in displacement by time, this one we can call it velocity also. This one here along y along x. So if angle this one here theta, now here this one triangle we can write it here ABC, in triangle ABC, in right triangle ABC. Here S2 by this one, S2 by S1, here T2 minus T1, here theta is there, then perpendicular by your base. सो दिस वन यूर इन दिस वन राइट ट्रायंगल फॉर्म ना क्या बन गई, राइट ट्रायंगल बन गई, इसमें ये परपेंडिकुलर बन गई, बेस बन गया. सो परपेंडिकुलर बाय बेस, देन दिस वन फैक्टर वी कैन राइट इट हियर राइट ट्रायंगल एंड दिस वन परपेंडिकुलर बाय बेस, देन वी कैन राइट इट हियर tan theta also. Tan theta equal to perpendicular by base. Okay, and this one we can write it s2 by s1 and t2 by t1 equal to your velocity. Clear? So in form of the angle we can write it tan theta also, as well as slope we can write there if values are given, then s2 by s1, and this one change in the displacement to the change in time, then we can call it this one factor instantaneous velocity. Clear? I hope you understood. But if graph is given, then velocity how we can find? So in displacement time graph given, then velocity we can find by using the slope of the graph. Okay, if equation given, then we can write this one here in form of here change in displacement here ds by dt also we can write it. Clear? If your s given in form of the variable, constant value is not given of the displacement, if variable form is given, variable means that an equation given with time varying, time के साथ कोई equation vary कर रही है, then you want to find out velocity, so how we can find by using ds by dt, because this one change in displacement to the change in time, और change in displacement को कैसे लिखते हैं, ds by dt. ds by dt means differentiation of the displacement with respect to time. For example, if your question is given, if your displacement is given 2t plus here 2t plus 1 like this one, then find velocity. क्या निकालना आपको, वेलोसिटी निकालना है at t equal to your 1 second. क्लियर? सो वेलोसिटी अगर डिस्प्लेसमेंट टाइम इक्वेशन गिवन, अगर इक्वेशन का मीनिंग क्या है बेटा, यहाँ पे जो इक्वेशन गिवन आपको टाइम वेरिंग इक्वेशन गिवन है. इफ वैल्यू इज गिवन लाइक दिस वन s इक्वल टू 2 मीटर 10 मीटर लाइक दिस वन, देन वी कैन कॉल इट कांस्टेंट वैल्यू. इसको हम क्या बोलेंगे, कांस्टेंट वैल्यू बोलेंगे. बट यहाँ कांस्टेंट तो गिवन ही नहीं है, यहाँ क्या गिवन, कैसी इक्वेशन है जो टाइम के साथ वेरी कर रही है. मींस अगर टाइम 1 सेकंड है देन इट्स वैल्यू विल बी डिफरेंट. इफ टाइम इक्वल टू 2 देन इट्स वैल्यू विल बी डिफरेंट. टाइम इक्वल टू 3 देन इट विल बी डिफरेंट डिफरेंट. सो विद टाइम देन वैल्यू ऑफ s इज चेंजिंग रेगुलरली, s चेंज हो रहा है. क्लियर? तो हमें क्या निकालना है कि किसी t इक्वल टू 1 सेकंड पे इसकी वेलोसिटी क्या हो जाएगी. सो वी कांट अप्लाई v इक्वल टू s बाई t. Don't use this one v equal to s by t. It will be wrong because here s is not constant value. S is here variable equation. Okay, that's why I solve this one variable equation. Then we will use there v equal to our ds by dt. V equal to ds by dt. So velocity we can write there d by dt. S we can write there 2t square plus 2t plus here 1. Here, so beta, if you don't know differentiation, try to solve differentiation question in your at your homes, because this one is an important concept, differentiation and integration. Now you are having time, then you can try to solve this differentiation and integration. So how we can take differentiation of any vector quantity. Here d by dx, x function is given whose power is n. Then power will come forward, then 1 will subtract from this power. This is the way to solve any differentiation. So open this bracket, then take the differentiation of each term. तो इसका डिफरेंशिएशन करेंगे तो पावर क्या होगी, आगे आ जाएगी 2 is already here, then 2 to the 4, then 1 will subtract from the power, then 1 only left. Now 2t, 2 पावर क्या है, t की 1 है, 1 आगे आ जाएगा, 1 सबट्रैक्ट हो जाएगा पावर से, 1 माइनस 1, तो इसकी पावर क्या बचेगी आपके पास, 0. तो किसी की पावर 0 क्या होता है, वही रहता है प्लस 0 प्लस यार 1 इज कांस्टेंट. कांस्टेंट का डिफरेंशिएशन हमेशा क्या रहता है आपका, 0 रहता है. Constant differentiation always 0. Why 0? Because I told you beta already in your class, then d by dx. If we are writing there c only. If we will multiply this one variable function, then we can write its power x raised to power 0. क्योंकि यहाँ पे क्या रखना है, मल्टीपल विद 1 ना, c is multiple with 1, constant 1 के साथ मल्टीपल है. सो x की पावर को अगर 0 रखते then it will be 1 only. तो इसको सोल्व करेंगे तो कैसे आएगा, पावर विल कम फॉरवर्ड, पावर क्या आपकी 0, तो 0 आगे आ जाएगा, कंप्लीट को क्या कर देगा, 0 कर देगा. तो कांस्टेंट का डिफरेंशिएशन क्या होता है, 0 रहता है. तो हमारे पास वेलोसिटी की क्या इक्वेशन आ गई, 4t plus 2 मीटर पर सेकेंड. क्लियर। अब आपको जहां भी जिस भी टाइम पे वेलोसिटी निकालनी तो आपके पास वेलोसिटी आ जाएगी कि अगर आपके 1 सेकंड पे वेलोसिटी निकालनी देन v इक्वल टू 4 1 पुट करो यहाँ पे देन 4 + 6 मीटर पर सेकंड। क्लियर। तो t को 2 पुट किया देन 4 2 जा 8 8 + 2 10 मीटर पर सेकंड। इस तरीके से जहां भी वैल्यू आप t की वैल्यू पुट करते जाओगे वेलोसिटी आती जाएगी। डोंट थिंक हियर कि t की वैल्यू यहां पुट कर दो देन यूज देयर v इक्वल टू s/t। इट विल बी कंप्लीटली रॉन्ग बेटा, क्योंकि यहाँ पे टाइम वेरी कर रहा है, हम ये वाला रिलेशन यूज नहीं कर सकते। दिस वन फॉर कांस्टेंट वैल्यू। क्लियर। अगर वैल्यू वेरी कर रही है देन वी विल यूज डिफरेंशिएशन इंटीग्रेशन मेथड ओनली। फर्स्ट वी विल फाइंड द इक्वेशन और द वेलोसिटी हाउ इट इज वेरिंग विद द टाइम t, कि टाइम t के साथ कैसे वेरी कर रही है, उसके बाद हम t की वैल्यू उसके अंदर पुट करके हम वेलोसिटी निकालेंगे। एक्सेलरेशन, इंस्टेंटेनियस acceleration. Clear? Instantaneous acceleration we can write it a equal to change in velocity per unit change in time. That is your change in velocity per unit change in time is known as the instantaneous acceleration. So this one change we can write it dv by your dt. ये सिंबल हम किस लिए यूज करें? चेंज, स्मॉल चेंज इन एनी स्मॉल इंटरवल ऑफ टाइम। यहाँ से वहां तक जा रहा है कि एक स्मॉल इंस्टेंट पे कितना चेंज हो रहा है, एंड बॉडी इज मूविंग फ्रॉम हियर टू देयर एट एनी स्मॉल इंस्टेंट, कि यहाँ से यहाँ तक उसने स्मॉल टाइम लिया, स्मॉल टाइम में इसके अंदर वेलोसिटी में कितना चेंज आया, देन वी विल राइट इट dv. Clear? So this one here, instantaneous velocity at any instant, change in velocity per unit change in time is known as instantaneous acceleration, and this one factor we can write it dv by dt. Clear? So means with respect to time continuously something is changing, that change we will call it acceleration. So if bt graph given, which bt graph? In bt graph also we can use this one, but a velocity time graph is given there. Velocity time graph meter per second, time in second. So any curve is given here. So in this one curve here, v1 velocity, v2 velocity, here t1 time, t2 time. Clear? Here t1 time, t2 time. So one point is this one, second point is this one, that we are taking here this one. So here left this one factor only, here a and this one here b. Clear? तो इसके अंदर हमारा slope will be equal to your, if your theta will be this one, change along your y-axis, that is your v2 minus v2. Okay, so using velocity time graph, so we can write their slope of vt graph of velocity time graph, we can write there a equal to this one, slope of vt graph, we can erase it, then slope how we can write beta, change along y axis to the change along x axis. Change along y axis कितना change हो रहा है? v2 minus v1, final minus initial. Change along x axis, final minus initial, t2 by t1. Here, so change in velocity divided by change in time. So this one ratio we can write it what? Acceleration. क्या बोलते हैं इसको? Acceleration बोलते हैं. Clear? So this one acceleration we can write it beta in form of theta. Also we can write it this one your theta. Change along y axis to the change along x axis. Now this time this again we can write there in form of your angle, in form of your theta. So acceleration we can find by using your tan theta also. Clear? किसके अंदर? वेलोसिटी टाइम ग्राफ के अंदर. ये ध्यान रखना, नोट एससी ग्राफ के अंदर तो क्या आती है? वेलोसिटी आती है, बट वेलोसिटी टाइम ग्राफ को यूज करते हम क्या निकालते हैं? एक्सेलरेशन निकालते हैं. So three different way by which we can find the acceleration. This one here, instantaneous acceleration dv by dt. Using graph we can write the change in velocity per unit time, and here a equal to tan theta, also here acceleration in form of the theta. Clear? So I hope you understood better like this one. Now if your question, try to solve this question. If s equal to your 5 t cube minus 3t square plus 1. Okay, then find velocity and acceleration at t equal to your 1 second. Clear? Solve this one question beta. Next one question, a body moving 60 meter then first then travel 1/3 of total displacement traveled with 10 meter per second, and next 1/3 traveled with 20 meter per second, and last 1/3 traveled with 40 meter per second. Then find average velocity. Okay, I hope you understood beta concept of the average velocity, average acceleration. Then here concept of the instantaneous velocity and instantaneous acceleration. Okay, I hope you understood beta difference between velocity and instantaneous velocity, difference between acceleration and instantaneous acceleration. Clear? Instantaneous acceleration means at any small instant how much change in the velocity with interval of time, then we will call it instantaneous acceleration. Okay, velocity will be our change in displacement by time. Instantaneous velocity means change in displacement, small displacement in small interval of time, कि किसी इंस्टेंट पे कितना चेंज हो रहा है वेलोसिटी डिस्प्लेसमेंट के अंदर विद रिस्पेक्ट टू टाइम, देन वी विल कॉल इट इंस्टेंटेनियस वेलोसिटी. सो आपको यूज करते हैं इस इक्वेशन को फाइंड करना है वेलोसिटी एंड एक्सेलरेशन यूजिंग दिस वन क्वेश्चन, देन फाइंड देयर एवरेज वेलोसिटी. Clear? Try to solve these question at your home beta. I hope you understood this one concept. One more question write down related with your average velocity only. If a body travel for 60 seconds, then half of the total time traveled with 20 meter per second, and next half of total time travel with 40 meter per second. Then find average velocity. Okay, I hope you understood beta what is the difference between this question and previous question. दोनों क्वेश्चन में एवरेज वेलोसिटी फाइंड करनी है, बट रीड स्टेटमेंट प्रॉपर्ली व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन दीस टू बोथ स्टेटमेंट. बोथ आर डिफरेंट. एक के अंदर डिस्टेंस गिवन है, डिस्टेंस वी आर डिवाइडिंग इनटू इक्वल रेशियो. एक के अंदर टाइम गिवन है, टाइम को हम डिवाइड कर रहे हैं इक्वल रेशियो में. Clear? So I hope you can do beta today. Revise this one unit till you are this one topic only. Then tomorrow we will do revision of the equation of motion only by using graphical method and your calculus method. Okay, so don't waste your time, solve these questions in your notebook. I hope you understood. Thank you for watching today our video.